If you own your home free and clear, no mortgage, no monthly payment, there is a document sitting in a government office right now that someone could change without your signature, without your knowledge, and without anyone calling to warn you. It's called your property deed. And the moment a criminal forges a transfer on it, the law treats them as the owner of your home until you can prove fraud in court. This is happening to seniors across the country in 2026. People who paid off their houses decades ago are discovering that a stranger has taken out a loan against their home, or sold it, or rented it out, all on paper, before the real owner ever found out. There is one thing you can do today. It costs nothing and takes about 15 minutes. That puts an alarm system on that document. Stay with me, because I'm going to show you exactly how to check your deed. The free alert most homeowners have never heard of, and the one mistake that makes your home an easy target. And here's what makes this different from other scams. There's a reason criminals specifically hunt for seniors with paid-off homes, and once you understand why, you'll see exactly why the step I'm about to show you matters so much. We'll get to that in a moment. What's actually happening to paid-off homes? Let me explain how this crime works, because most people picture a break-inches. It's nothing like that. It's all paperwork. A criminal identifies a property, usually one that's owned free and clear with a lot of built-up equity. They use personal information gathered from the internet to assume your identity. They forge a document called a quitclaim deed, which transfers ownership without any title search or warranty. Then they file that forged deed with your county recorder's office. The moment it's recorded, the public record now shows them as the legal owner. From there, they can do one of three things. They can take out a mortgage against your home and disappear with the cash. They can list your house for sale to an unsuspecting buyer. Or they can pose as the landlord and rent it out, collecting payments for months before anyone notices. The FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center reported over 9,000 real estate fraud complaints in a single year, with losses of more than $173 million. And between 2019 and 2023, more than 58,000 victims reported $1.3 billion in losses to real estate fraud schemes. But here's the statistic that explains why you need to pay attention if you're over 60, and it's worse than most people realize. Why criminals specifically target seniors. This is the open loop I opened earlier. And here's the answer. According to the FBI's data, seniors filed only about 19% of real estate fraud complaints, but they lost 44% of all the money. $76 million, taken from people 60 and older, in a single year. Why the imbalance? Because criminals target older homeowners on purpose. Here's their thinking. A senior is far more likely to own their home outright. That means the thief isn't stealing just the equity above a mortgage. They're stealing the entire value of the property. A paid-off home is the biggest possible prize. On top of that, older homeowners are statistically less likely to check their property records online, less likely to monitor their credit reports frequently, and more likely to own a vacation home or a vacant lot that nobody is watching closely. Every one of those factors makes a paid-off home an easier, more valuable target. In one case in Los Angeles, the FBI arrested 11 people in a 4-year investigation they called Operation Hard Money. The group specifically targeted older adults holding free and clear titles, plotting to steal more than $17 million by taking over home titles and using them as collateral for fraudulent loans. In New York, The Attorney General brought charges after two suspects allegedly stole a widow's home while she was in hospice care. So how do you protect yourself when the criminal never even has to come near your house? It comes down to two free actions, and the first one you can do in the next 10 minutes. Action 1. Check your deed right now. Here's the first thing to do. And it costs nothing. The majority of counties in the United States maintain an online portal through their recorder's office, sometimes called the Register of Deeds or the county clerk. Go to your county's website and search for Recorder of Deeds or Property Records. Enter your name or your home address. The system will show you every document recorded against your property, your deed. Any mortgages, any liens, and any transfers. Here's what you're checking for. Your name should appear as the current owner. And the most recent recorded deed should be the one from when you bought the home or last legally transferred it. If you see a document you don't recognize, a quitclaim deed, a transfer, a lien you never authorized, that is a red flag that needs immediate action. If your county doesn't have an online system, call the recorder's office directly and ask them to confirm the current owner of record for your address. It takes 5 minutes by phone. But checking once isn't enough because a forgery could happen next month. That's where the second action comes in. And it's the one almost nobody knows about. Action 2. The free alert that watches your deed 24/7. This is the step that could have prevented nearly every case I've described. And most homeowners have never heard of it. Hundreds of counties across the country now offer a free property fraud alert service. You register your name with the county recorder's office. And from that point on, anytime a document is filed in the public record using your name, you get an automatic notification by email or phone. Think about what that does. If a criminal tries to record a forged deed against your home, you don't find out 3 months later when a stranger knocks on your door. You find out immediately, the moment the document hits the recorder's system, while there's still time to stop it before they can borrow against or sell your property. Setup takes about 15 minutes. Go to your county recorder's website and look for a service called Property Fraud Alert, Deed Notification, or Fraud Watch. Register your property. That's it. It runs continuously until you cancel it. And it costs nothing. If your county doesn't offer it directly, check your state attorney general's office. Several states have launched statewide property alert systems specifically because of the rise in deed fraud targeting seniors. And there's one more layer of protection, a document you can record yourself that creates a legal roadblock against fraudulent transfers. Action 3. Freeze your credit and add a legal roadblock. 2 more moves close the remaining gaps. First, freeze your credit with all 3 credit bureaus. Deed fraud almost always begins with identity theft. The criminal needs your personal information to impersonate you. A credit freeze makes it far harder for them to open the fraudulent accounts and loans that the scheme depends on. It's free, and you can lift it anytime you need to. Second, some homeowners record a formal declaration of ownership at the county level, a document that becomes part of the permanent public record. When any title company or lender later runs a search before a transaction, they encounter it, which creates legal friction that fraudulent transfers struggle to survive. It's not a substitute for monitoring, but it's an added layer. One important note about title lock services you may have seen advertised on television. Those paid services mostly just monitor the same county records you can monitor yourself for free. Before you pay a monthly fee, set up your county's free alert first. In most cases, it does the same core job at no cost. What to do if you find something wrong. If you check your deed and discover a fraudulent filing, act immediately. File a report with your local police department and bring any copies of the forged document. Report the identity theft to the Federal Trade Commission at identitytheft.gov, which will give you a recovery plan and an official report. File a complaint with the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center at ike3.gov. Then contact a real estate attorney, because correcting a fraudulent transfer usually requires a legal filing to clear your title. The faster you catch it, the less damage is done. That's exactly why the free alert matters so much. It turns a months-long disaster into a problem you can stop in days. Here's the bottom line. Your home is almost certainly the most valuable thing you own. The document that proves you own it is sitting in a public office that anyone can access, and right now, you may have no idea what it says. So do 3 things this week. Look up your deed at your county recorder's website. Register for the free property fraud alert. And freeze your credit. 3 actions, all free, about an hour of your time total. And if you have a parent, a neighbor, or a friend over 60 who owns their home outright, send this to them today. The people who get hit hardest are the ones who never knew this was possible. Now you do, and that's exactly what keeps your home yours.